introduction. Thank you, Lauren, for starting this initiative. Quite a bit nervous, but hopefully I'll try and get it through in one piece. Okay, so my name is Leroy Thomas. I'm out in Doha at the moment. I'm a physiotherapist. I've worked at Vincent Pallotti Hospital. I've worked with Pulse Bay Rugby Club in Constantia, and I'm working in a hospital at the moment, as well as at the rugby club in Doha. At the moment, I've joined this running team, trying to push the limits and get into the running part of things. I'm not a runner, but that's a nice challenge. And go team, go squad. Okay, so here we are. So what the plan is for today, we're going to do a few stretches. I'm sure all your bodies are feeling a little bit stiff and a little bit tight, especially those ITBs and those glutes and some of those calves as well. So we'll put special focus on those muscle groups. So we'll be starting with some static stretches of the main muscle groups. Then we'll go into some foam rolling. So I'm going to be using a little ball. That's my go-to method, but the foam roller is also good, really, really good. Just one reminder, at about 40 minutes into the session, you may be kicked out. So all you need to do is just log yourself back in. And in that time, you may want to get some water just to refresh yourself and then click yourself back in and we'll go for it from there. Straight after the foam rolling session, we'll do some power flow yoga. So a yoga inspired mobility session. I'm not a yoga instructor, but I do like to get into some mobility work with some yoga and some mobility. Okay, are we all ready? We're going to do this. There we are. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to be starting off on the mat, sitting up nice and straight, legs nice and wide apart. Okay, and we'll be going into our lower back and into our hamstrings. So back nice and straight, hands all the way up to the ceiling. You can try and join them together. From here, we're going to our left leg and we're going to reach as far forward down towards your toes on the left side. And we're going to hold that stretch there for about 15 to 20 seconds. Do your best to keep your knees on the ground for as long as possible. Okay, you should feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Okay, bring yourself up to the ceiling again and down to the middle. So we're going to get into the lower back and both of those hamstrings. There we are. Okay, coming back up to the ceiling again, hands both up to the sky and down to the right side. Again, you should be feeling this in the right hamstrings. Just hold it for a couple of seconds more. 3, 2, 1. Back up to the ceiling. And again, we're going to the left side. We're going to do this one more time. So going down towards your left side. Remember, keeping both knees onto the ground. Reaching as far forward as you possibly can. And coming up to the ceiling again. And down to the ground in front of you. Again, try and reach as far forward as you possibly can. If you can't go too far, just go where you can. Couple more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go all the way up again. And we're going all the way to the right side. Try and reach for your toes. And coming up again towards the ceiling. Okay. We're going to take your left leg, bend it forward in front of you. Okay. With your right leg, you're going to bend it to the side or behind you. Okay, try and sit up as straight as possible. And we're going to get into the peripheral or the glutes in front and just lean as far forward as you possibly can. Try and get that shoulders down towards the ground. There we are. So you should feel it in your glutes on your left side or the leg in front of you. Alarm over here. Nothing to panic about. 3, 1, and let's go all the way up. You're going to lean backwards. This is the difficult one. If you get into the quadriceps. So if you've got a lot of mobility, you can go all the way down to the ground, but if you can't, you can rest yourself onto your elbows behind you. So this one you should be feeling in the quadriceps on the leg behind you. We go for 3 more, 2, and 1. Let's go back forward again. Same leg position and just leaning forward in front of you. Just holding it there for 3 more, 2, and 1. Coming up again and leaning back into the quadriceps 1 more time. And just holding that stretch. If you can, just go a little bit further towards the ground. Ooh, that is right. Okay, 3, 2, and 1, and then sit up again. Okay, so we're just going to do a swap of those legs. Back leg in front leg towards the back. Okay, so we're going to go through the same routine, leaning forward as far as you can, getting into this glute on the right or the front leg. Okay, just holding it for 3 more, 2, and 1. Coming up, and just leaning backwards onto your elbows or onto your back. Feeling it into that left quadriceps or that back leg's quadriceps. Okay, 3 more, 2, and 1. And let's go forward. Front leg again, just leaning as far forward as you possibly can. Okay, just holding for 3 more, 2, and 1. And let's go up and back into that back leg again. Focusing on those quadriceps 1 more time. And holding it for 3 more, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Okay, setting up again. We're going to go into a kneeling position. Okay, let me just get that higher. Okay, kneeling, 1 leg out in front of you. Okay, everyone ready? We're going to take the front leg, put it down onto the heel, straight to the front leg. And you're just going to lean as far forward as you can. Again, focusing on those hamstrings 1 more time. Okay, try and reach for your toes and grab and pull that foot up. If you get any neurological symptoms, so sharp tingling sensation, just relax the foot and push it down, but don't put too much stretch on that sciatic nerve. Okay, just holding for 3 more, 2, and 1. Okay, taking that same front leg and taking it out to the side. Okay, and leaning down, sitting down onto those haunches, and just get into those groins. Okay. Hold that for 3 more, 2, and 1. Let's bring that same leg forward again. And we can go into the back legs hip flexor. So what I want you to do in this position, I just want you to lean okay, sideways, lean forward, making sure you've got a stretch on the hip flexor on the back leg. Try not to lean your body forward, you won't get a stretch there. Just try and keep up straight or lean back just to get more of a stretch there. Okay. You should feel a stretch on the hip flexor on the back leg. And if you can, bring both your hands up to the ceiling and lean back a bit more. You should feel more of a stretch on that hip flexor. Don't push too far if you can't. Just go to a comfortable discomfort level. Okay, we're going to hold it again for 3 more, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Okay, so we're going to do those 3 one more time. So keep the front leg in front. And we're going to do the hamstrings one more time. So straighten that front leg and going towards your toes. Good stuff. Okay, we're just going to hold for 3 more, 2, and 1. Same leg out to the side and getting into those groins. So push that hip down and sit down onto those haunches. Feel the stretch in that hip abductors. Okay, we're just going to hold it for 3 more, 2, and 1. Good stuff. We're coming up. And you're going into that hip flexor again. Kneeling, leaning forward. Hands up if you can. And lean back. Good stuff. We're holding it for 3 more, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Okay, let's get on to the other side now. So swap legs. We'll go into those hamstrings first. So straighten the front leg ahead of you and reach for the toes. Here we are. Just holding that for 3 more, 2, and 1. Same leg. Out to the side. Getting into those hip adductors and sitting down into it. And if you can, lean over towards that leg. And just holding it for 3 more, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Let's get into that other leg's hip flexor. Then we can face this way. Again, leaning the hips forward, back straight. If you can take it a step further, hands up and lean back. Okay, holding that for 3 more. 2 and 1. Coming up straight. Okay, so now we're going to start from the beginning again with the hamstrings. Straighten the leg in front of you and reaching as far forward as you can. Let's take it a step further if you can and pull those toes towards you. Good stuff. And just holding that for 3 more. 2 and 1. Good stuff. Take that same leg out to the side. Get into those hip abductors, sitting down into it, and taking that leg as far out as possible. Lovely. We'll just hold that for 3 more. 2 and 1. Let's come up again into those hip flexors. Sitting into a kneeling position. Hands up. Lean forward. And back. There we are. Hold it for 3 more. 2 and 1. Good stuff. Let's come up. Okay, how are you feeling? Show of hands. Okay, let's go back down into sitting. Let's get that upper body nice and loose. So legs nice and wide apart. Let's take the left hand across the body and take the right arm and just lock it in there and pull that elbow towards your chest. Good. We'll just do that for 3 more. 2, 1. Same elbow. Just grabbing the elbow and just pushing it up. Push that same elbow up towards the ceiling and across your body. So up and across your face. So using your other arm, just grabbing your elbow and pulling it across and up. Good stuff. Let's take that same arm up into the ceiling. Other hand grabbing the wrist and leaning across. So we want to get into this latissimus dorsi, into the lower back. Trying to sit up straight as possible. Good stuff. Let's go over to the other side. So right arm across the body, grabbing it with the other arm and pulling it in towards you. Okay, just holding that for 3 more. 2 and 1. Same arm across the face, other arm grabbing the elbow, pulling up and across, and just holding that for 15 seconds. Okay, same arm up towards the ceiling, sitting up straight, grabbing the wrist and leaning across the body, pulling that arm towards the other side. Get into those lats and that lower back. Good stuff. Okay, let's get into the lower back. So we're going to go flat into lying position. There we are. Okay, so we're going to take the left leg, bring that leg up towards the ceiling, grabbing that leg And just taking it over to the other side. Try and keep both shoulders flat on the ground. Keep both shoulders flat on the ground and take that knee down towards the ground. We're going to get it stretched into the lower back. And if you want to get into the glutes, bring that knee up towards your chest. If you want to get into the glutes. If you don't, just keep it flat for 90-degree angle at the hips and push it down towards the ground. Shoulders flat on the ground. Okay. Bring that leg up. Same leg, only just grabbing and pulling that knee towards your chest. Good stuff. Let's go to the other side. So swapping legs, bringing that knee up, 90-degree angle, grabbing that knee and taking it across to the other side, keeping both shoulders onto the ground, feeling a stretch in the lower back. Okay, good start. Let's bring that knee up again and grabbing that same knee and bring it up towards your chest, tight as possible. Okay, let's go back onto the other leg again. Up. So bring that leg up and across the body. And let's hold it for 3 more, 2, and 1. Bring it up and drag it tightly towards your chest. Okay, good. Let's swap legs now. So grabbing the other knee and taking it across your body, again into the lower back. If you want to get into the glutes, just bring that same knee a little bit higher up. Right. Bring that knee up towards your chest and grab it as tight as you possibly can. Okay. So now we're going to get you flat onto your stomach. Okay, we're going to do the same thing, but just mobility session now. So we're going to bring that leg up and across towards your hand on the other side, and then onto the other side again. So it's a little bit mobility, it's not static. We're just going to be moving all the time. So, show you sideways. We're going to go for 10. So going across, keeping both shoulders flat onto the ground. Okay, that's just a demonstration. And let's go for 10, 5 on each side. Okay, and let's go. 1, 2, nice and slow and controlled. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And from that position, we're going to do a little bit of an up dog. So just pushing yourself up. Okay, if you experience any sort of pain in your lower back, don't do it, or just go a little bit lower. Okay, we're just going to hold it there for 3 more, 2, 1. Let's go down. And let's do that one more time. Let's just push yourself up. Good. And we're going for 3 more, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Okay. How's everyone feeling? Show of hands. Good stuff. Okay, so is there any sort of other muscle groups that you feel that you need to stretch out? Let's just stick onto those calves one more time, or for the first time. So we're going to go into standing position. And we're going to do the typical wall stretch. I'm just not going to use the wall. You just see my thing. Okay. So we're going to go into the soleus muscle, so that's the lower part of the calves. You're going to have your heel flat onto the ground, and you're going to push that back knee down towards the ground. So you'll feel the stretch in the Achilles and the soleus, which is the lower part of the calf. And just holding that for 3 more, 2, and 1. Let's go into the upper part of the calf. So we're going to straighten that knee and bend the front leg and push that back heel down towards the ground. So you should feel a stretch on the upper part of the calf. Make sure the back knee is straight. If you don't feel any stretch, try and bend the front knee a little bit further, but making sure the heel stays flat onto the ground. Okay, so we're going to swap that muscle group again. So we're going to bend the back knee again and get into that soleus and that Achilles. So you can straighten the front leg and bend the back leg, keeping the heel flat on the ground. Okay, let's straighten the back leg and bend the front leg. Let's go into the gastrocnemius with the upper calf. Making sure that that heel stays flat on the ground. Good stuff. And let's swap sides now. Okay, so let's start with the soleus again. So bending the back leg, keeping the front leg straight. Making sure the heel stays flat onto the ground. Okay, let's straighten that knee at the back and bend the knee in front. Let's get into that calf. I'm feeling that one. Okay, let's bend that back knee again, straighten the front knee, and let's get into the soleus and the Achilles. Let's straighten that back knee and bend the front knee, and let's get into those calves again. And for the last time, good stuff. Keep that heel flat on the ground. And lovely stuff, guys. Okay, so if you want to grab some water, take a bit of a breather. We're going to go onto the foam rolling session now. How's everyone feeling? Feel good? Okay. So we're going to work our way from the calves all the way up to the upper back with your foam roller, or if you have a ball, you can use a ball. Okay, so I'm going to give you some ways to add some pressure or take some pressure away if the muscles are a bit too tight. Okay, so we're going to take the foam roller of the ball, place it just below your calf. The leg that you are going to roll, just try and keep that leg straight. And to take some pressure off, take the other leg and bend it. There we are. And place it just under the calf. Don't add any pressure to it just yet. Okay, I want you to use your hands behind you and lift your bottom off the ground, taking some pressure on the leg, so no pressure on the ball just yet, or the roller. And I want you to sit yourself down onto the roller. Okay, and with some long strokes, we're going to roll all the way up to the top of the calf and all the way down. Okay, so let's do this nice and slow, nice and controlled. Figuring out where all those tight points are. Okay, nice, long stroke, slow stroke. Okay. If you don't feel anything, try and take the pressure off the other leg and control the rolling or the movement. Nice and long. Okay, so we've got two heads of the gastrocnemius of the calf. So we've got the outer head, so rotating your foot out to get onto there. And you've got the medial head, so you can rotate your foot inwards to get onto that head. And just keep rolling and keep moving your foot in and out. Just looking for those tight points and those trigger points. Okay, keep rolling those long strokes. Once we get to those tight points, try and take shorter strokes on that point and just focus on that point there. Okay, so I've got one on my lateral head. So I'm just rotating my foot out, focusing on that trigger point in that lateral head. I'm just taking short strokes, trying to roll that trigger point out. There we are. If there are any other points, try and get onto that as well. Again, if you want some more pressure, take your other foot off the ground to get your maximal pressure possible. Okay, back onto those long strokes, curling it up and up. Okay, let's get onto the other calf. Same situation. Straighten that other leg. Bend that leg. And let's start with some nice long strokes. Trying to figure out where those tender points are, those trigger points, those uncomfortable points. Nice, long, diagnostic strokes. Again, long strokes, rotating that foot in or out. Okay, so let's find that point. Let's go shorter strokes and more pressure. And, oh, there we are. Nice short slow strokes. Okay, let's do the same thing on the hamstrings. So get the ball under your hamstrings. Again, rolling leg straight, supporting leg bent, weight onto the hands, lift your bottom up, lift that heel up and get all the pressure onto that ball or the foam roller. And again, nice long strokes into that hamstring. Again, we're still trying to look for all those tender points with those long strokes. Okay, so once you find that tender point, just try and do some shorter strokes, focusing on the tender point there. Okay, back onto longer strokes again, getting onto that whole muscle. Right, let's get onto the other leg. Okay, again, rolling leg straight, supporting leg bent, hand onto the ground behind you, heel off the ground, and again, starting with this long strokes, covering the entire hamstring group. Okay, so again, looking for all those tender points. Okay, once you found the tender point, let's take shorter, slower strokes, focusing on that point. Okay, and let's get back onto that longer strokes again for the last time. Right, let's get into those glutes. Okay, similar starting position, but both legs bent this time, and behind you, foam roller, just under your glutes, and you're just going to sit down onto that roller and almost lean towards it and rolling, just going up and down. Okay, so this is probably where most of you will be feeling tender. So don't put too much pressure down. So take pressure off onto your hands and to your feet. Okay, again, just looking for all those trigger points or the tender points. Okay, let's go 5 more seconds before we swap over to the other side. Okay, 3 more, 2, and 1. Let's go into the other side. And same thing, leaning over onto that side. And just digging into it as much as you can. Good stuff. Let's go for 10 more seconds. Keep rolling. Add more pressure into it if you can. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Okay, let's go into the lower back. So the foam roller would be much better for this rather than ball. But you're just going to get the foam roller onto the lower back, onto your elbows, and add pressure and just roll. Get those lower back muscles. So we're going to go into the erector spinny, quadratus lumborum, and all the paraspinal muscle groups. Okay, so you adjust the pressure with your feet and your elbows. So if you want to focus onto one side of the back, you just lean over to that side and get all the tension onto the ball or onto the roller. Okay, onto the other side. Let's go for 5 more seconds. 2, 1, and let's do the last time onto the upper back. Exact same thing. Just getting onto the thorax. So your support goes in front of the ball or the roller, and you're just laying down onto the roller. Elbows out to the side, that's your supporting points. And you're just rolling nicely. Up and down. Okay, let's focus on one side now. So some of you might be having a little bit of pain or discomfort under your shoulder blades. Okay, so to focus on that muscle under the shoulder blades, I want you to take that shoulder blade or that arm, bring it elbow across your body, grab onto that elbow, have the pressure on the foam roller, and just roll onto that tender muscle there. So basically opening up that shoulder blade, bringing it out as far as possible, exposing that subscapularis and those rhomboids, or all those trigger points. And we're just rolling onto that point there. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. Okay, having the ball or the roller just under the tender point, opening up the shoulder blade, laying down onto it, and just rolling up and down along the middle border of that shoulder blade there, the scapula. And just go 3 more. 2 and 1. Good stuff. Okay, the two muscles I hate to roll, the ITB and the quadriceps. Let's start off with the ITB. Ball, we roll it just below you. We're going to go into a sideline position. Let me just adjust my mat over here. Okay, just be careful with the ITB. It does tend to be very tight and very painful. So just adjust your pressure accordingly. Okay, so sideline bench position. Top leg above you, rolling leg nice and straight. Okay, so the supporting leg will take all the pressure as well as your bench line arm. Get the roller onto that ITB. Okay, adjust your pressure accordingly, and let's go for that long strokes again. And getting through that entire ITB. Okay, keep it nice and controlled, nice and slow. And don't stop breathing. It's really painful for me. Okay, once you find its most tender point, okay, just try and take smaller, shorter strokes onto that point. Okay, let's get on to the other side, same thing. Okay, so the rolling leg straight, supporting leg bent behind you, onto the line, sideline position. Lift yourself up, get the ball or the roller onto the ITB, and let's start off with this nice long strokes. You can use the hand in front of you to take some more pressure off or adjust your pressure if need be. Okay, once you find your tender points, let's go take shorter, smaller strokes onto that point. Here we are. Alrighty, let's get into the quadriceps. So we're going to get lying onto our stomachs again. Get the ball or roller under your quads. Use your other leg, support it onto the knee, and just roll forward and back. You can support yourself on your toes as well. Nice long strokes. Once you find a tender point again, smaller, shorter strokes. There we are. Okay, let's swap on to the other side. Okay, now starting off with long strokes again. Okay. Smaller strokes onto those tender points. Alrighty. Okay. Let's put those rollers aside and let's have some fun. Okay, so that is it for the static stretching and the foam rolling session. So I'm going to go through a little bit of power flow yoga and some mobility work. So we're going to move away from static movements and get onto some hip, back mobility exercises. So I'll be talking through this most of the time, so I won't be able to see you properly, but just trying as much as possible to follow the instruction. Okay, so let me just get my mat adjusted here. Okay, so we're going to go into child's pose first. So sitting onto your haunches and going down into a child's pose. Try and focus on your breathing, taking nice, slow, deep breaths in and out. Okay. In this position, you're going to have your weight on the heels of your hands and just push yourself back further into your haunches, your bottom down towards your ankles. Okay. I want you to take your right hand up and cross over onto your left hand, grab that wrist and push your body towards your right side of your body, getting a good stretch onto the right side of your body into your latissimus dorsi. And just holding it there for 3, 2, and 1. Getting back to center, right hand back to where it came from. Take your left hand on top of your right hand, grabbing your wrist and pushing towards your left side of your body, getting a good stretch on the left side of your latissimus dorsi. Good. Let's go back to center and back to normal. And let's come up into kneeling position. Okay. From kneeling, we're going to go into cat and cow. So cat would be chin to chest, chest up towards the ceiling, and into cow, the reverse, hunching that back, chest forward, looking up ahead of you. And we're going to do it 3 times. Back into cat, abs nice and tight, chest up towards the ceiling, chin to chest, and back into cow. And we're going to do that 1 more time. Good stuff. Back into cat and into cow. Good stuff. Back into neutral. Okay, now I want you to take your left hand, rotate it up towards the ceiling. Rotate your hand one way, so you're rotating your wrist one way, and then the other. Okay, so taking that left hand, threading it through under the right, reaching as far right as you can. And this is the mobility, going under and over. Okay, so we're going to do that 5 times. Good. So under and over. That is 1. Good stuff. Keep it moving. 2. Under. Over. 3. Under. Over. 4. Under. And 5. Let's take that same left hand, going under the right hand, reaching as far right as possible. Right hand going forward and just holding that position. So you should feel the stretch in your shoulder and under your shoulder blade as well. Try and get your left ear down towards the ground and just holding it there for a couple of seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's take it right hand back to under your ear or next to your ear and come back up into kneeling position. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to take your right hand this time up towards the ceiling, rotating that wrist one way. So rotating the wrist first and then the other. Okay, taking that right hand under the left, and this is the mobility, under and over. So we're doing that 5 times. Okay, so starting now, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last one, right hand under the left, getting that head down to the ground, left hand as far forward as possible, and just holding it there. Holding for 3 more, 2, and 1. Left hand back to normal, and bringing yourself up again into neutral. Okay, so we're going to the hips now. So we're going to start off in high plank position. High plank is there, push-up position. Okay. Going to take your left leg next to, or your right leg, sorry, next to your right hand, if possible. If you cannot, you can take it a bit further back. Okay, so we're going to push that hips down towards the ground, getting a good stretch into that hip flexor, into that groin as well. Okay, so we're going to do the same sort of mobility session. So right hand up again and down 5 times. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good stuff. Right leg back again. Push-up position. Left leg next to left hand. Okay, good. Let's push those hips down to the ground. Good. We're getting a good stretch. And 5 times again. There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good stuff. Let's get that leg back. Fire alarm again. Okay, you can take a breather. So we're going down all the way. Okay. We're going into up dog. There we are, just holding that there. So we're going to go from up dog to down dog. So the transition is from there into down dog. Okay. Up dog, we're going to do that 3 times. That is 1. Down dog. Up dog. 1 more time. And up dog again. Lovely stuff. Okay. Back into down dog 1 more time. Holding the down dog. Let's take the right leg up towards the ceiling and taking that right knee towards the right elbow, just to touch and back up towards the ceiling. Okay, taking that same right knee towards your nose. If you can, touch and up to the ceiling. Right knee 1 more time towards the left elbow, touch and up towards the ceiling. Okay, down to the ground again. Same thing on the left side. Left leg up towards the ceiling. Left leg to left knee. Left knee to left elbow, sorry. And up towards the ceiling again. Left knee to left to the nose. And up to the ceiling again. Last time, left knee to right elbow. Touch. And up. Okay. Going down towards the ground. Okay. Last time into push-up position. And we're going to walk our way back up into a standing position. Here we are. Okay, so we're just going to go flexing down towards the ground. So slowly sliding your hands down the thighs, stacking, going down, down, down. Keeping those knees straight as possible, going down towards the toes. And slowly coming back up. Stacking each vertebra up, 1 by 1. Okay, this time I want your knees slightly bent. Knees slightly bent, feet together. And we're doing the same thing, keeping the back straight, sliding down towards the ground. Okay. Coming up halfway, hands to the chest together, making sure that the back is nice and straight. And we're going to take the right elbow to the outside of the right knee, keeping the back nice and straight and rotated, and just holding that position for 3, 2, and 1. Let's unlock that elbow, taking it out to the other side, and just holding that there for 3, 2, and 1. Let's go back to neutral. Drop those hands to the ground and slowly stack yourself up into a standing position. Alrighty, and we're just going to do a little bit of deep squats. Not squats, just taking a deep breath in. So taking a deep breath in, lifting your hands up towards the ceiling. There we go. So putting up your lungs in through the nose, onto the toes, and out through the mouth, back onto the ground. In through the nose, onto the toes, and out through the mouth to the ground. And the last time, in through the nose, onto the toes, and out through the mouth. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining the session.
It was awesome. Thanks.